gentlemen, my name is Hector Bosa, the hardest, baddest, sexiest man on cable access TV. Whether you like it or not, I am the man with the women, the booze, and the money. They pay me. You hear me? And I got Jamie Hickson, who's complaining, talking about me. Jealous Jamie. And I got Guy Cormier. I got Rosanna Robertson, Pat Brady, and Kenny Graham. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I got all these people wanting for me to get to the heights of Jay Leno, not retiree Jay Leno, but Jimmy Fallon for you guys, because I should be up there with the greatest of ease. I don't like the trapeze because I've never been on a trapeze act before, ladies and gentlemen. But I can swing with the best of them. Ask all the ladies that I've dated. Right, Jamie? Right. Thank you, Jamie, for giving me that high five. You know, ladies and gentlemen, over here, at times we break the fourth wall, and sometimes we don't, which is cool, grand and dandy. And you'll never know. But I love these people because these people take care of me. They're volunteers and so forth. And you know what? I like to bring class acts and so forth. We're going to have great singing today. We're going to have great interviews today. So stay tuned for more. Hello, everybody. This is the hardest, baddest, sexiest man on cable access TV. Yours truly, Hector Bosa. That's right. I can speak fast and getting closer by because my director's telling me to get as close as possible. But that's okay. Breaking the fourth wall is good, as you'll know as we'll talk now. Let me ask you something. What is your name? Tell these people your name.
Marcus Reyes, filmmaker from New York.
Really? And what is it that you do? Why did I pick you out of all the thousands of people in the world? Why? What is it about you that's so special?
Well, we're here filming for a documentary called Underdogs. It's a documentary about independent wrestling in New Jersey. We're following Rob Fury, the owner of SWF, and a lot of the indie wrestlers, including a couple other organizations, to show people what the independent wrestling scene is like.
And let me ask you, what made you get started with this this venture?
So, when I was working on some projects, film projects, and I, connected with Netflix, they really wanted me to give them more documentary projects. So I was like, okay, I'll get back to you and see what I come up with. So Billy Fetsky, who's part of the Underdogs, film project, he was working with Rob and doing the wrestling stuff. So I asked him, I say, what is it you guys are doing with that wrestling stuff? I'm interested in getting to know more. So he set up the meeting with me and Rob, and we sat down and got the okay and we started filming.
Have you learned anything about wrestling that you didn't know before?
I guess wrestling is not really fake.
That's a good way. Bumps and bruises are hard, man. I did it once, and I was the greatest champion of all time. And I tell you something, it's tough being in that damn ring. I tell you that much. But how have been the stories so far that you've interviewed?
I mean, when we started off, we wasn't sure what we were going to expect. We thought it was just going to be a wrestling documentary. But there's a lot of stuff behind it that people will get to see that's really interesting. Personal stories, the ins and outs of wrestling, the politics, the good stuff, the bad stuff, everything.
Yeah. I know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And boy, there's a lot of ugly people in this damn place. But you know what? I got to tell you. Now you say you're part of Netflix. How did you get started with them?
Yeah, so I did a project a few years ago called Blue City. And, it got a lot of attention on the internet about the show. And some people reached out to me. I guess they found me through IMDb. And they wanted to know what other projects I was working on, so they were interested in it. But, after I finished Blue City, I wanted to work on something else. So when they reached out to me and we spoke, they showed interest in some of the projects that I had. And I just kind of connected with them on a business level, and they wanted me to, produce some documentaries that's going to be featured on Netflix.
Wow, you know what? That's good. Now, it's a trip doing one thing to another, and when you do something like this, wrestling or what you did before, how do you get into it that you go, this is what I'm committed to?
I mean, every filmmaker is passionate about a project that they do. They hold it dear to their heart. So if you go into a project and you want to, show a certain subject, or you want to touch on a certain, discussion or whatever, you kind of get, you get really into it and intimate with what you're doing, and you kind of you kind of hold it close to your heart. So like for me, I haven't watched wrestling in years, and now I feel like I'm back in the game now. So for wrestling and this documentary, it really put me in touch with, the wrestling culture.
And like I said, I hope it's been a great trip for you doing these documentaries. What's the next thing coming up after this?
Well, I got a lot of projects lined up for different things, documentaries, feature films, series, some Netflix, some Amazon, some, depending on who picks it up.
Okay, and how many of them am I going to be in?
Well, I know I got you casted for a role that I think you'll be interested in. Yeah. And when I wrote the script with the person that I'm writing it with, I said I got somebody that can play this role that I think will be perfect for it. So I showed him your interview that we did, and he was like, yeah, he can definitely do it.
How did you enjoy my interview, by the way?
It was good. It was funny. I think you got a lot of good stuff to add to it. You and Rose did a good job with the interviews. And
how much of it is going to be on and how much of it is going to be cut?
I mean, I guess once we get to editing, we'll see how much, we can squeeze in, so.
But I was grateful for that. Thank you. I do appreciate it. If people want to contact you, where should they contact you?
Visual and Media Films. If you look it up, you can find, the social media, Visual and Media Films. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Visual and Media Films. I usually, monitor a lot of those platforms. So if you want to reach me there, or you can email me at visualmmg@gmail.com in regards to any film projects or anything related to media.
Yeah, I'll bring you a project. Don't worry. I got something in my head that it's got to come out of the other head. But you know what? Thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. How you doing once again, ladies and gentlemen? And on my right hand, I'm going to let her introduce herself, because if I do it, I'm going to blow her name. So, what is your name?
Hello, my name's Nathaly Adolphe.
All right, Nathaly. So let me ask you, besides me being the hardest, baddest, sexiest man on cable access TV, and you couldn't resist me, I want to know what made you come here today. What is your talent of the day?
I am a classical singer, so I wanted to make my debut, for lack of better terms,
today.
You.
I always bring you the best, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see. And you know what's good about this? That you get the experience here, especially on my show. So if you ever want to come on my show, just go to homeinvaderswriteshow.com or go to Hector Bosa, Facebook me. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. And just find me if you want to be on my show like this young lady is today. We had a great time. We're having a great time so far. So let me ask you, what made you get started with classical music?
It's fresh. It's very fresh. I started singing about a year ago. I've always loved Broadway. So I sought I guess an instructor who went to Juilliard.
Wow.
And she has pushed me towards the classical world because she feels like I have a good classical voice. But I initially went to sing Broadway because that's my first love.
And let me ask you, what is it about Broadway that attracts you to it? You got to have a certain voice for Broadway.
That's very true. And personality.
Yes.
So I would say that's probably why I'm not in that scene because I'm very shy. Very, very shy, but it's in my heart. I've always loved Broadway from when I was a very young girl. I know all the songs, Disney, Broadway. That's all I listen to even now. And I figured, if I found an instructor and I learned some songs, I just wanted to do it for fun.
Right.
So a year ago is when I met Barbara, and she said, I think I'll introduce you to something new.
Right. And so what made you do the switch from Broadway to opera? Because that's opera, you need a pitch. You really
Absolutely.
it's a different type of singing. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you got R&B singing, which is just no, 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 and all that. And then you got Broadway with that nanny goat sometimes. And then you got to really hit that high note in opera. So how is it?
It depends.
It all depends on the song. You
Yeah.
know? But to me, it's different on your voice when you sing
Absolutely.
R&B, Broadway, and opera. To me, I don't know how do you.
Well, I'll tell you something. Since I was young, I never really thought I had a great voice because I would listen to, Disney and even R&B. So
Right.
when I sing an R&B song, I sound okay. I
Right.
don't sound spectacular. So I always thought, my voice is okay. It's not anything grand. That's because I have a classical voice.
Right.
So when I sing opera, I'm able to sing louder, and I feel more comfortable singing opera.
Right.
If you give me an R&B song, I sound very different.
Oh wow.
It's bizarre. I didn't know how to connect it before. So when I went to this instructor in Manhattan, she said, this is my vocal range. She said, here are some pieces I'd like you to study and work on. And when you come back, we'll sing them and we'll see how you feel. That was the very first time I felt that I had a voice. And that's because my voice is in the classical range.
Wow, that's a piece of work. Like I said, you said it best, and I repeat the same thing, which is it's hard to go from R&B to Broadway to opera, and the thing is, and what I get at is is there a strain in your voice when you do opera? Is there a difference when you do? Is there different tones, and is it a strain on your voice?
I don't feel strained when I sing most classical songs, and it depends on your voice range. So I feel that I'm more of a mezzo soprano, so a little bit lower on the soprano scale than a true soprano who can go up very, very high. When I have to reach the very high note, I feel that I'm straining a bit. So that's why, in my opinion, I feel that I'm a little bit lower on the scale. But somebody who's a soprano can reach that high note very comfortably and not feel like they're straining, and they can sing an R&B song and not feel like they're straining. So it depends on your vocal range.
Yeah, and how do you know your vocal range? Who tells you this is my vocal range? This is where I should do. Who tells you that?
That was a specific question I had from my instructor. So she feels that I'm a soprano, but I told her when I sing certain songs, I feel that I'm pushing too much or too hard for it. She thinks it's that I need more training with my breathing, more so than my vocal range. So the instructors know. I don't know too much about it to tell anybody else what their vocal range may be. So an expert would be the best person.
But you breathe
tell
from
you.
your stomach, right? Is that you
Yeah.
got to breathe from your stomach or your chest?
From
Because
your
when
stomach.
it's from your stomach.
Absolutely.
See, I know my stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm no dummy here. Good God, jealous Jamie. Anyway, that's right. See that? I get all the women. Anyway, thanks. I like to pick on both of them, but it's to me. Now, your instructor, how did she find out that you got the voice to do it? Did you audition to her for her?
No. I reached out to her when I went to meet with her. We did a warm up. Basically, our first lesson, you sing on a scale and you start from the very low point where I can be, it can be a bit uncomfortable from the low point all the way up to the highest point. And she takes me all the way there. And with practice, I can reach some notes that I reach with her. But when I get home, I can't do it. So it really is based on practice.
Right.
And breathing.
Do you have a favorite artist that you follow, whether that you said, okay, I want to be like this person, or I wish I can sing this way?
Well, my artists would be from childhood, Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
I liked Whitney Houston. In the classical world, I'm just getting used to who's who. Maria Callas is a very popular opera singer. I believe she might be a mezzo-soprano. And I have been told to really watch her because she's very basic. She doesn't stress too much when she sings. And I really love her presentation. And it's not too animated. She's very comfortable on stage. So she's the person I follow the most. But there are a few more artists I listen to, when I need to hear a certain song and the different styles of their singing.
Because when you mentioned Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, those girls can really hit a pitch.
Absolutely.
And in their prime, I don't know now, but I don't think you lose your voice. I don't think you lose your voice unless you practice. You have to practice a lot. I don't think you lose your voice even as you get older. I think if you just continuously practice, I don't think you lose your... Is that the case for you? Would you think that if you stop, you would lose your voice?
It depends on, how well you're aging and how well you take care of yourself.
Right.
Because age does play a factor. And in your strength, right? On your lungs. So if as you're aging, if you're developing lung disease, your singing ability is going to be diminished. So practice, absolutely, staying on top of it, but also your health plays a major role in your ability to continue singing well.
And also, we talk about health. Now, you also like to dance, right?
Yes.
You also... Now, is it because of Broadway?
Well, I was going to say that's where the Broadway comes in, because Broadway performers are singers, dancers, and actors. I like all three, and it's I feel like it's really cool to get up on a stage every day, and it's live. It's not that if you make a mistake, they can stop and restart it like a movie. You're out there,
right?
So you've got to do what you've got. You have to love it. To be on Broadway.
You know what's funny about mistakes, which I get a lot of sometimes here? A great bunch of guys. But the funny thing about if you continuously do it, they won't know it's a mistake or not.
That's true.
And that's the funny part, because I've seen Broadway plays, and I know they're making a mistake, but they just wing it and then just go back to it.
They don't have
again.
a choice.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't stop and turn to the crowd and say, sorry, guys. It goes on.
Yeah.
You skip a word, you miss a step, you have to continue.
Yeah, it's
and I
funny.
find that amazing for people to get out there, and they're doing it at least, twice a day for months or for several weeks, in some cases, and others for a year.
And do you feel at this point in time you need more training? So are you going to start going out to auditions? Because you got a great face and a great body, and I'm sure Kenny wants to shoot you, or he has shot you to be a model.
Thank you.
Has he?
Yes.
Yes. You see, Kenny Graham has shot her. Not
has.
literally, figuratively.
I'm still here.
Yeah, she's still breathing. Yeah, she's talking about no lung disease on her. But is that the type? Is that where you want to go? You want to go into a little bit of everything?
Eventually, it took me a while to get here. Obviously, I just started to pursue this last year.
Yeah.
I would like to be out there and be on Broadway. And be in the classical world. At some point, I didn't think it was possible to do both, but it certainly is. It really is. And I started studying, I believe her name is Audrey McDonald.
Right.
She has been on Broadway, but she's a classical singer.
Right.
She just did Beauty and the Beast, and I was just so taken aback by her voice. She's a soprano, and I didn't know. I first knew her as an actress. Then I knew that she did some Broadway, but the fact that she studied classical music and she's a classical singer is amazing.
You know who you should check out? Patti LuPone. I think she's a very good singer. I think she can sing classical. I seen her at CSI.
Oh yeah.
She blew. She's got a voice. She's on Broadway right now. As a matter of fact, she's doing a great job. But in your since you're here and you want to practice here, because I get all the great guests, by the way, you know, and I give people starts because I want to see them reach the sky, you know.
Yes.
And this is where you should start. Or on YouTube, did you start thinking about?
I have done
going to
nothing.
YouTube? Oh,
This
okay.
is my first.
Well, I'm popping her cherry, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we will go to a video in a couple seconds. Oh, how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back with a gentleman here. I'm going to let him introduce himself. He's going to tell you everything you got to know about himself. And let's go. What is your name, sir?
All right, Stephen Gomez.
And let me ask you something. What is it that you do?
Me, I'm a filmmaker, actor, and a writer.
And how did you become all three?
All three just was ready for a change. Been in healthcare for over 15 years and got into acting, really liked it. And then went ahead and started writing, really liked it. Started producing and writing and acting in some comedy skits and working with Marcus, he's another director, and you know, just fell in love with it. So I started learning more and how to film and using the cameras and writing the script. So basically self-taught.
Now let me ask you, you've been doing documentaries with Marcus, right?
Yes.
And how's it been working with him?
It's been great. Me and Marcus, we have a long history because we grew up together. So him invited me on to work on a project that we was doing that went to Amazon called Undercover Blue. It was good to finally get that project done and go on to other projects. So it's been a great experience. It's been great.
Now the project that you're working on, how's that been for you?
It's been good, you know, just getting everything together, handling not only just the writing, you know, the post-production, the pre-production. So it's been very interesting getting everything together, getting all the PAs, you know, everything that we need. So it's been fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Now it's a documentary about wrestling, correct?
Yes, Underdogs.
Now let me ask you, have you been in the wrestling ring?
Yes, I have. I actually started training with some of the guys. I have an amateur wrestling background. I started wrestling since I was 13.
Oh, well, you know, you would do bad against me, you know, because I am the champion that's been undefeated.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to know that, you know, because, you know, I did win the championship and I was undefeated. I'm 1-0, so that's good enough. I retired. That was good enough for me. But how did it feel training with some of these guys?
Well, it was good. It was good to know that, you know, my technical skill is still there, you know, so it was good to get in the ring and run moves and, you know, execution, you know, being able to execute, you know, make it look good and then be safe, you know, don't hurt nobody, you know, be safe.
And how does it feel to do a documentary like this, knowing for well that you did have a little bit of information about it because of your background, but how did it feel doing something like this?
It feels great. You know, wrestling has always been a part of my life and my family's life because not only was I a wrestler, New York City Championship, I won it at 185 pounds. My brother was also a wrestler, so it was actually something that was in my family. Like me and my brother used to train in the basement, lay down blankets, and we used to run moves. So it's something that's close to the heart, even growing up as a kid. Watch wrestling a lot, you know, idolizing Bret Hart, you know, Chris Benoit, you know, the technical wrestlers, Dean Malenko. So to actually do this project, it's great. It's like almost like a dream come true.
And also, the writing and so forth. What have you done with the writing and the acting? What have you done?
So with the writing, I've been writing comedy sketches. So one of our more popular comedy sketches is called The Internet Police. So basically, it's about these two cops that police the internet. So if somebody posts something that you don't like, we come bust you, and it never kind of works out the way we want. So
okay, when am I going to be in it?
Soon. Actually, we're ready to go into sitcom mode. So if you go on YouTube and you type in Cramedy, CRAMDEY, you could actually catch some of the Internet Police skits.
And let me ask you, what part do you see me playing?
I see you playing
parts.
I see you playing a perp, probably a poster that posted something somebody didn't like, and we'd come get you, probably like at a doctor's appointment or something.
Yeah, I'm the doctor. The gynecologist going, no, it stinks. Get out of here. No, police that crap. You have blue balls, don't come to me. But, you know, I wanted to know, hearing Marcus do the interviews, who did you find funny and the surprise, some of the surprises in wrestling, in independent wrestling?
Well, I would say the funniest interview was you so far. And the independent wrestling circuit, it's really tough. It's not easy to be in. So to hear about some of the good stories and the horror stories, it was just surprising because I didn't know that much went into professional wrestling. You know,
especially when you don't get paid much, you're doing it for free sometimes, and you're traveling all this time. But it's kind of fun, but it's fun watching the creation of how they do it.
Yeah, it's fun watching. It's fun being a part of it. You know, even wrestling. You know, you have to be a glutton for punishment. You know, of course, because this is tough on the body. But all around it's fun. Just setting it together, putting it up. Even if you're not in the ring, out of the ring, it's always enjoyable. It's always a good time.
So did you catch the wrestling itch? Do you want to become a professional wrestler now?
Well, that's the goal. After 6 months of training, yeah, I plan to get in the ring and mix it up.
All right, well, I'll be your first opponent. I'll come out of retirement for this one time only. I'll train with donuts and women on the side. I'll do push-ups with them and all. But what was it about let me ask you something, because I'm not egotistical or anything, but what was it about my interview that you liked?
You tell the truth, and even though it's the truth, it's still funny.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. What was the thing that stood out to you the most?
What was the thing that stood out the most? I guess when you kept on repeating the same thing over. You know, it's always a good time with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a blast with me. That's for damn sure. Well, you know what? If people want to contact you, where can they contact you?
Well, they can contact me at Cramedy, CRAMDEY @gmail.com. And you can send us whatever. I'm always into doing collaborations with people, so I'm always open, always free.
Well, I'm looking forward to being a star in your flicks, and you know, I won't try to take over your thing. I just want to be a star. I just want to be a little star. You know, you can have, you know, I just want to be there. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hearing this, and I'll talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed that video, ladies and gentlemen. We're here once again with Nathaly. She wants to be known by her first name because I don't know her last name yet. It's this damn drinking, boozing thing that I have. It's not my fault, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the fact that I like the taste of it. And, you know, you got a lot of haters there, like Jamie Hickson, but that's okay. Guy doesn't hate me. You know, Guy's a good guy. Watch your show, by the way. You should also watch Jamie's show, by the way. What's the name of your show again? Yeah, In the Bleachers. Guy, what's the name of your? Guy Cormier Stories Today, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to watch them. And like I said, Pat Brady's out there doing her thing as well. Don't forget to get her. And eventually, Rosanna Robinson will get IWH out there. That way, me and Jamie can give you the best highlights of wrestling, independent wrestling. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be the heel. I'm going to be the face because I got the face that brings the place down. What was that? Oh, he's saying he loves me. Oh, that's sweet. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with Nathaly. And the songs that you picked out, what are they? What's the name of the songs that you picked out so far?
The first song is called Avukela.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a song by a composer, I guess a songwriter, Toasty.
Mm-hmm.
In the mid-1800s, the song originated from, and that's one of the first songs I learned. It's a short song, as my instructor would call it, a sweet song.
Oh.
It's a very short song, and it's all about It's all about love. Most, a lot of the classical songs are, and I like it because it shows your range, and you don't have to sing for long. Most classical songs are very long.
Yeah, and the funny thing about opera that I found amusing sometimes, which is the different ways to sing it. You have German, Italian, American.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes I can get the Italian ones and even the Spanish ones, but the Germans I can't. I can't deal with it.
It's very hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's very hard because they're going, oh, no. And I'm like, oh, what? What did he say?
But it's funny because even though it sounds harsh, my mother-in-law, she always says, she wants to take me to see a German opera. She said, because I've been running away from it.
Oh, don't.
She says it's probably going to be the best one that you've seen.
Yeah.
She said, don't let the harshness of the language scare you. So we're going to see one. I'm not really sure which one.
Yeah. No,
but
that's good.
The season's coming up, so we'll be going.
Probably where? At the Met somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that's the best place to see it. Because I enjoy the fact, I hate the nanny goats. I hate the people that go, oh. I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. I can't.
Well, you'll be hearing a little bit of that.
No,
today.
it all depends how you do it. There's sometimes that when you hit a certain note, they'll be like, and it'll be like, all right, fine. But then when they start going, I'm like, no, that's not how you do it. No, that's not. Bring the sound. I mean, what are the scales that you were taught? What are the scales? Can you,
well, I don't know the names, but they have so many different ones.
Which ones were? Can you give me a little bit of the scale?
There's actually one of them I believe is German.
See, we go back to German.
Yeah, and that's one of it. It helps with your pitch as well as your breath.
Right.
And I believe it goes gut, du, vis, di, ru. So you're singing it on a do re mi scale. So you go gut, du, vis, di, ru.
Go, wow.
And you basically start very low and you go all the way up. And that's one of the exercises my instructor stressed on. She says, if you can do this every day, it will help with your sustainability as well as your pitch. And some days, if I'm not feeling well, it's kind of hard to get that.
Do you practice every day?
No, I should. I really should. But
how long do you practice for? Yeah, I know you. I know. I got work to do.
I've got, money's got to be made.
That's right. That's right. Money got to be paid too. Shit on me.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. See, even she agrees I'm the hardest, baddest, sexiest man on cable access TV. See that? Ha ha, Jamie. Again, hi guy. Anyway. I like when Jamie agrees with me, by the way. He
loves you.
Yeah, he loves me. He knows I'm the hardest, baddest, sexiest man on cable access TV. He always tells me that, But going back, thank you, guy. Anyway, you always hear people talking, but anyway, it's funny. What is your favorite opera style? Which do you hear the most when you like opera? American?
Oh,
so
Italian.
Yeah, Italian.
Although I'm a French speaker, Italian is it's taken over.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Taming of the Shrew is a son of a gun to do. I love Taming of the Shrew when they do it. Yeah, Taming of the Shrew is fun to me. But it all depends when they do it. How they do it. Because. Oh, no, it's just,
there you go. You got some opera
yeah, you
going
got
on.
it. Yeah, I see. I know what I'm doing.
Are you performing for us today?
Yeah, I'm always performing. I got videos out there that should not be seen. Too mad, and those women like my microphone.
Oh.
But they sing into my microphone, and I start screaming. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, it's too bad here. This is bad. But what is it about Italian and the French? And so, do they come out more that you can understand more? Is that it?
Boy, I couldn't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I think, the French is supposed to be a language of love, right?
Right.
And I think Italian too. I believe they're on the same level.
Italian, Spanish.
But I grew up
yeah.
speaking French.
Oh.
And when I wasn't raised here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was raised in Haiti for about 10 years where I went to school. So my first language, of course, is the Haitian Creole.
Yeah.
Second would be French, where I learned it in school.
Mm-hmm.
I came here at the age of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And starting junior high, I had to pick a language, and I chose Italian.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because it was very similar to French. I took it, and it was like a second nature to me, and I enjoy it. So when I listen to songs, I feel that I enjoy the Italian versions more than the French. So Italian would be my top pick.
Because the language of love, I'll tell you, because I'm always using it. By the way, yeah.
Say something.
No, yeah. You don't want me to say threesome, but it's funny because it's Spanish, Italian, and French. Those are the three languages of love, supposedly. Those are the three. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're similar.
Right. Yeah,
If you notice, they're similar in language, because I can pick up Italian and I can pick up French by the way they're singing and so forth. There are certain words that are twisted, but there are times where I'm going, I got it. I know what they're doing. I know what they're saying. Mm-hmm. But how did you pick up the languages? I mean, Creole. Isn't that broken French?
It is.
That's broken French, right?
Yeah.
And then you got French, and then you got Jesus. You don't know three languages, trilingual. Jeez, I know what let me see. The language of love, that counts for one. Spanish 2, some Italian 3. Can't speak, but I can understand it. Yeah, so that's good.
So I'm
myself.
curious to know what this language of love is.
Oh, you really want me to explain? We got to go behind this. If you want to know the language of love, we got to go behind this, and then they'll see some really fantastic shadows. If the light hits it the right way. But I got to tell you, when you first started singing, did you think you were good?
Well, not really. I mean, I thought I had a decent voice, but I didn't go seeking I guess these instructions for to be a star. I really just wanted to learn more songs. I wanted to learn the fun ones, and it's funny because as much as I loved Broadway, I had never been to a show.
You never been to a Broadway show?
Well, now I have, but before,
Yeah.
as a child, I just knew of them, and I would hear the soundtracks, and I would be so interested. But my mom has always worked quite a bit, so she never had time to take me to the city to see a Broadway play. I saw my first play actually in junior high, and it was Cats.
Yeah, same here. One of them damn cats hit me on the head.
No way.
Yes, they came out of the box and one of them hit me on the head.
Needless to say, I fell asleep.
Yeah.
So
God.
I wasn't too interested back, and I was about 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And I went again as an adult. In my 20s, I went to see The Lion King. Then I saw Wicked.
Oh, that's a good play. I like that
which
play.
I fell in love with hard.
Yeah.
I also saw Waitress most recently.
Oh, really?
Waitress is now my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Then I went to see Cats again a few months ago.
Wow.
And I have to say it's much better.
Oh,
They did a fantastic job.
They improved it?
And I think it's because I was young and I was waiting for like singing and dancing when I first went, but it was just very quiet. It's all dance. It's mostly dance this time, and they are phenomenal.
What's that damn song they always sing?
It's on something with the moon. I don't remember.
I know
it's a popular song.
Yeah, it's a popular song.
I keep thinking Jellicle Cats in my head.
Yeah, Jellicle Cat.
That's the song.
It's a Jellicle Cat. And
that's the song that stuck. But the love song that she sings, I don't remember the name.
I don't remember
it's
either.
It's a phenomenal song.
Yeah, it's a great song. If
she
you know
stood
if you know of it, let me know, guys. No, because I know that damn song, and they sing that song. When I went to see it, they sang it about 5 or 6 times.
Which
They-
one?
The Cats one. That
the
particular,
Jellicle.
not Angelical Cats, because that just comes over. I'm Angelical Cat and the damn magician cat. Yeah,
Yes,
that's it.
yes,
Yeah,
the Jellicle Cat. That's the only song that stuck to my head.
Exactly. But I forgot Memories.
Yes.
Memories.
Yes.
That's the one that they sing. They'll sing that about 4 times in the whole play.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great song, but the damn cat sings it because she's a tramp and so forth, supposedly. But I've seen a lot of plays too.
You have?
Oh yeah, please. I'm saying what are Spamilton coming up? Michael Moore.
Okay.
The worst plays, I think, something play, and then I've seen Phantom. Phantom of the Opera.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen Phantom yet,
Yeah.
but I know some of their songs.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be my next musical.
Wicked. I've seen Wicked.
Wicked is
that's
awesome.
yeah.
I just saw
Gem.
Beautiful
Yeah.
a few weeks ago.
Really? Oh,
The Carole King musical. It's amazing.
yeah. I only like comedies. I'm Les Miserables. Now, please. Great thing. No, it's a great play. I'm just tired of misery.
You should see Waitress.
Oh, it's a pep comedy play.
It's somewhat. I mean, it's funny and it's lighthearted. I think it's a good play to see. It's not Les Mis.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that
thank
much.
God. Please. I mean, it's a great play. Don't get me wrong. It's a great play. I'm just saying
You might
that,
come out a little bit miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Les Miserables, Les Miserables. You know. Now, you said you speak how many languages besides English?
No, Creole,
French.
French. I consider Creole French the same.
Yeah.
But
Can you speak a little? Because
what do you want me to say? Muégale Nathaly. That means my name is Natalie.
okay.
That's Creole.
That's Creole.
In French is Je m'appelle Nathalie.
Oh, je m'appelle, and the other one is what was the first?
Italian.
Okay, what's that?
Mi chiamo
Mi
Natalia.
chiamo. Oh, look at that. Yeehaw. Everybody's favorite is vous sucez à lingua, something like that. Anyway, that's because I have too many of those. Anyway, oh God, sometimes I go from here, then it's a disaster, and then I bring it up.
It's the booze.
Yeah, it's a damn booze. Yeah, blame it on the booze.
Yeah. That's easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, got to do it because I got to slur like a son of a gun. But anyway, we're going to hear you sing in a couple of moments. But I have to ask, and that is, when you see a play, do you try to pick the play and go, okay, do you like certain plays or do you like every type of play?
I mean, honestly, I've seen mostly musicals.
Yeah.
I just go. The way it's happened is I've gone with people who have been basically the one to dictate. Hey, I'd like to see this, and I make it happen. Like my mom wanted to see The Lion King.
Yeah.
So it's not like I sat down and calculated. I probably would never get there because it would be hard to choose which one to see first. So my mom wanted to see The Lion King. I took her, and my friend said she was talking about Waitress for a month. My coworker. And I said, I have to see this show that she keeps coming into work singing every day. So I went to see it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to hear her sing and sing the lovely songs that she's going to sing for you guys. So, we'll see you in a couple of moments.
Sì, come non sorrilo, tu tieni na vuchela, no poco poco rilo, a passuli a tella.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. As you heard, those great songs. What were they again? What was the name of them again?
Avukela is one of them, and the other one is Anon Credea Mirarti by Bellini.
And what does that mean?
It says, "Oh, how quickly the flowers withered." Anon Credea. I thought it meant I can't believe. I can't believe it. So the Avukela means your sweet lips.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you can't believe that I have sweet lips. That's nice. Thank you. I get compliments like that, but wow.
That was the best one, right?
Yeah, that's up there. That's for damn sure. I got to tell you. Especially the one back in the shower. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show, but let me ask you, how did it feel singing those songs right now?
It felt comfortable. I was a little nervous. But it's a work in progress.
Yeah. I mean, I know being here with next to me, the hardest, baddest, sexiest man on cable access TV, that would make you nervous
It's
enough.
intimidating.
Yeah, I know, because I'm so hard to resist.
You are.
Yeah, exactly. You're ready to jump on me. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, what? Okay. Jamie's keeping his comments for himself. That's good. I wanted to ask you, how does it feel performing? I mean, I know you were nervous and so, but as you started, were you nervous? I
didn't start off nervous. I got nervous towards the end. For the first song, I'm very comfortable with that song. So that's, I got right in there. The second song is challenging for me because I have a lot of training to do with listening. And that's one of my biggest challenges is to sing along with an accompanist. So if I sang it a cappella, by myself, I'd be fine. But singing along with the music, especially when there isn't a live accompanist, I have to sort of know exactly when to stop and start again. It's challenging for me.
Yeah, no, I think you did a great job, and I'm
Thank
sure
you.
everybody would if they had two hands, they would clap. Yeah, as you can see, they listen to me carefully. They should be clapping, but no, they're not. But you did a great job, and I tell you,
thank you.
Especially for being here. Is this the first time you've ever been interviewed?
Yes.
How did that feel? I mean, how does it feel being next to the hardest? I mean, I know you said before that I was intimidating and so forth, but being here, being interviewed, and knowing full well that you have a shot if you continue doing what you're doing, that you may not only start here, but you may wind up on the top of the chain list, being on Broadway, being at the Met. Are those your goals too, being on Broadway and being at the Met?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say, see, I knew her. I knew her back then.
You can say I interviewed her first.
I interviewed her first.
Yes.
I interviewed her first, and she wanted to go back in the shadows with me, but that's okay. Don't worry, that won't show. I'm sure it will. But that won't bite you in the ass, don't worry. But knowing full well, your goals are to be at the Met, right?
Yes.
How long
on
do you
stage.
see yourself? On stage? How long do you see yourself getting there?
Can't tell.
Okay.
I need a lot of training,
Yeah.
believe it or not. I'm not very comfortable singing on stage yet, but hopefully I can get there soon.
Yeah. And dancing? And you're going to pursue
Well,
your passion of
dancing
dancing
is,
too?
it's been put on the back burner a bit. But if I'm pursuing Broadway,
Yeah.
most of these musicals involve dancing, so I'll be very active in the dancing world.
What type of dancing do you do?
I actually danced first in my life.
Right.
I started dancing. No, actually, I played the piano first.
Right.
But dancing, I did lyrical, which is like a modern ballet. I did ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop.
Oh, I can't wait for you. Want to start a twerking contest? Soon? Yeah, that'll be
You'd
great.
lose.
Yeah. No, I can twerk very well, thank you. Believe me, the women start going tick tock, tick tock. But it's funny because the only songs that I sing is Tiny Bubbles. Like tiny bubbles in the wine makes me feel happy, makes me feel fine.
The only song.
That's the only song that I remember. It's because of this damn vodka that I have on me. But you know what? If people want to contact you, where should they contact you so they can say, I want Nathaly to sing?
You know, before coming here, I never even thought of this, but
Yeah.
my Gmail account.
Yeah. What is it?
NAdolphePAC@gmail.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the following people: Jamie Hickson, Guy Cormier, Rosanna Robertson, Pat Brady, Kenny Graham, and the people that are watching the show. Remember to always hug your people and friends because you never know when they're going to go. If you want to be on the show, HomeInvadersRideShow.com, HomeInvadersYahoo.com, and also, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, but I'm best at Facebook. So if you want to be on this show, and you're a woman too, even better, but any acts will come here and perform, so you can pop your cherry here as well. You can be the first, second, or third. Doesn't matter to me as long as you have a good time here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Take care. God bless.